Did you know that Gen Z, the #1 most desired job is an influencer? My favorite way to learn to squat is just to learn how to like sit, learn how to relax.
You know, that's what I always hated about Olympic lifting is you couldn't cheat.
I've always been creative. YouTube was a means to my creative end. And that's why I was saying, like, the advice that I'm giving now to go into the gym 7 days a week, it might not be in line with you if you're going to go hardest like I used to. Joe Rogan's arguably one of the most famous people on earth. 200 years from now, do you think people are gonna be saying his name? Probably not, though.
Hey, what's going on, my brother? What's up? Dude, making music, man.
Oh, yeah, it's wild. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Was this up here last time I was here?
I don't think this was like
This is fucking
all the way
sick,
dude. Put together. What you been doing for
fitness?
Losing some fat, just eating less?
Yeah. This is actually cool because I can talk about it on camera. The big part for me was psychologically, food didn't rule my life. I feel like you said that. And for some reason, like I caught myself, if I sat down to watch YouTube, because I do that all the time. I just love watching YouTube. Or if I sat down to do anything, it's like, well, food needs to be here too, you know?
I think everybody listening can relate to that.
And that came from like football. Mm-hmm. Just always putting on weight. You have to put on weight. You have to put on weight. And all sports. You burn so much energy. Like you eat as much as you want, eat whatever you want. And that's just like all I was told my entire life. And I didn't realize I just kept doing it, you know? And it was wild that I wasn't even more fat, you know? So that was the big one, was just realizing
helpful to be tall.
Like auditing like how much you're really eating and why you're eating. And the answer is just like, there's no reason to be eating at that time.
One of my favorite things in the world is to go to a movie theater and just eat.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
And I
sit down and eat.
I
it's
associate
like
TV and football. You know, football, I got to have the wings and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So then another thing too was like, I was getting 15 to 20,000 steps a day. And that was probably around 2 hours of walking. And then working out every day.
And then when you're a musician, you're snorting cocaine and stuff like that too. That'll help burn some fat.
Yeah, no, hey, keep.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No cocaine.
Don't want to be too authentic.
No. Yeah, and then working out every day, but more of trying to up frequency and lower.
Push the sled for a little bit. Well, I'm still listening to
lower intensity. That was the big thing. But it was more like pick 1, 2, 3 exercises. Oh my God, it keeps going on back here.
You have a volleyball court back there.
Going like upping frequency, lowering intensity. So picking 1, 2, or 3 exercises and hammering them for less than an hour and then leaving the fucking gym. Big protein shake, huge protein shake.
And how many guys have you seen over the years do that and actually make great progress?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
There's always that guy that like leaves the gym early and you're like, how is he better than everybody?
I will say this though, for us, coming from a strength background, we're not worried about getting stronger. So we don't have to go as hard as some people in the gym. So for, you know, like I'm not squatting.
They're just getting started and they want to get stronger.
Yeah, maybe go squat hard, you know. But for me, it was just like pick something, hammer it, get out of the gym, big protein shake, and then really not much food for the rest of the day until later at night. I'll have like a super high protein meal. And that was it. It's just big protein shake and a big meal at night. And like,
I'm just thinking of how disappointed your Olympic lifting coaches would be.
So disappointed.
With the diet that you have now.
Exactly. But dude, when you're playing music, like it's so intense on your brain. I can't be like, oh, did I optimize my back squat session today? It's like, no, I'm playing in front of 900 people tonight. Literally, I'm playing in front of 900 people tonight with an acoustic guitar.
You can't have a leg cramp.
Yeah, I'll push the sled. That's for sure. But yeah, weighted chins, man. You want to do some?
I'm down.
Okay, cool.
All right, you're up.
That's been my go-to.
It probably feels great since you lost some weight too.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
It probably feels better rather than being
all gymnastics type of.
You're still probably what, 225, 230?
Less, 215.
215.
Yeah,
good.
that's
Well, good for you.
The lightest I've been since college.
great.
I don't have much traction here.
Oh, yeah. Might need to take you down a notch. Yeah, this always knocks your shoes right off. Friggin' tank. That's always a great way to warm up. I have known you for a while now.
Yeah.
I didn't really have any idea how passionate you were about music.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things that you don't want to. You want to let people find out almost. Mm-hmm. It's like,
Hey, check out my music. Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah,
and also like if an artist has to tell you that it's art, it's not art. You know, so
right.
It's nice to have people kind of find out organically. And these gigs that I've been doing,
what was a shift though? There was like seemed to be a shift maybe like about 2 years ago.
Yeah. So Chris Williamson, I played a song that I wrote for him, and he was like, "That was really good. Just record that." And then I did. I went to the studio, recorded it, put it out. You know, 5, 6, 7 people were like, "Wow, it's really good. Do you want to do another one?" And then I did that again and again. It's the same thing with YouTube. Yeah. I made a YouTube video. 5, 6 people were like, "Hey, that was really good."
You're like, "This is dumb."
I was like,
"You thought it was dumb, probably, or
well,
or didn't think it was amazing, maybe."
You know, you get a couple people to like it, you can get a couple more.
Right.
And that's just the same thing. It's the exact same thing with music. And then now it's like kind of got a world of its own. And I'm opening for these guys at this theater. You know, I've been playing in front of like 1,000 people in a night by myself.
I just think it's so cool because I think 4 or 5 years from now, I think it will have turned into a big thing for you.
I hope so. I hope
really
so. But I'm winning right now, bro. I swear to God, like this is a dream come true. Seriously.
I get it. I get it. You're already in it.
But it has been very nice to not, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about, allow yourself to get weaker, to allow yourself to not attach identity to how much you lift.
Right.
And it's nice to be able to do that when you have successes, when you have things outside of just being a fucking strong guy.
Right.
You know?
It's difficult because we get judged, you know? We got
Oh yeah.
You literally have judges that are watching you. You got your teammates and coaches watching you. And you either have the strength or you don't. There's no excuse. There's no, "Oh, I didn't, eat enough today," or it's like the ultimate judgment is, and you can't be like, "Oh, my hamstring." Like everyone's got something going on.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's no excuse for it, and you just have to perform, and that's what we got graded on was how much you bench, how much you lift.
But what if we were like, "How happy are you?"
Yeah.
Like it's one of two things on YouTube for health or fitness or whatever you want to call it. How much do you lift or how jacked are you?
Right.
And what if it was like, what's your amount of happiness that you have per day? We can't really measure that, but it's I'm pretty happy right now.
That's why I love meeting people in person and getting opportunities to see behind the curtain. And I kind of have this thing like, what's somebody like at like 6 or 7 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
What are they like at the dinner table?
Yeah.
What are their habits? What are they doing? And you don't get to see that from YouTube. You don't get to see that. Instagram, you're hiding yourself even more.
Yeah.
And for me, when I get around people, or when people come and they do the podcast and they get around Nsima and I, and they're like, "You guys are so calm."
Yeah.
They're like, this is wild. Like, fuck,
you guys are very chill.
Yeah, because
you're okay.
Because we feel like we've done well already. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And Nsima's climbing, and his YouTube, I'm sure you've seen some of the stuff he's been doing. He's absolutely crushing it. And I was telling him the other day too, I'm like, the way that you feel right now, you'll never be able to capture this again. You're going to feel better and better as time goes on because you're going to have done other things. But the way that you feel right now,
bro, this is so funny.
You're in the climb right now.
So funny that you said that. I am in the climb, but there was a moment last year. Chris and I were living together, and we were like, we looked at each other, and we made sure to do this like once a month. And we're like, what we're doing right now, rules.
Right.
Let's take note of it.
Yeah, you guys living
together. This is fucking awesome. There's points where he's doing a podcast and I'm shooting a YouTube video with like a tiny little paper thin wall, right? And then after that we'd go like on a walk or we'd go to the gym and like, we're like, bro, we're not going to have this again. Just know that this is incredible and like remember that.
Right.
And what you're doing with the Nsima is the exact same thing. Like this feeling of growing your YouTube channel, like understand this is like the best feeling you're ever gonna have. Like Greg Doucette said when he made $100,000, he's never gotten that feeling ever again.
Right.
Off of the cookbook. He made $100,000 off the cookbook, and he's made millions since.
I've learned to love people like that. I've learned to just love guys like Greg Doucette. You know what I mean? I think years ago I would have been frustrated with a guy like Greg Doucette.
Oh, 100%.
I think now I'm like, amen. You know, that's great.
And like, if you get to know Greg, like I know Greg really well.
He's a lot of fun.
He's a great dude. He is, and like,
I think he's funny as shit too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a riot, man. I really like this. This feels really good.
That's why I like to do it in a warm up. You know, just a couple sets. We'll just pull it backwards a couple times, and then we'll be good.
It's just, yeah, it's nice to get the heart rate up. Mm-hmm. Oh, this one's gonna be trickier.
Yeah, especially when you're 7 feet tall.
So like, yeah, losing strength. I feel like people hate to hear that. And a channel like mine, it's all about gaining strength. It's always been about like getting stronger, all of that. And me, the leader of my own channel, it's like, I am noticeably weaker than I, ever have been on this channel. And how can I reconcile that? And I'm trying to explain, like, I don't have to reconcile shit. I feel fucking great.
Right.
I'm so stoked. And I'm actually really stoked to get into the gym every day. Yeah. Like, I'm not kidding. I will go 7 days a week.
Well, it doesn't take as much from you, right?
It only adds to me. Whereas for weightlifting, bro, that shit took away from me. I'll tell you that much. But it was like, it was fodder for, I don't want to seem like my life used to be shit. Now it's great. It's more like, you know, those clean and jerk sessions where I tried to maximize my clean and jerk, like those took everything. You know, wake up in the morning and be like, fuck, today's the day.
Think about it for the whole week sometimes.
Yeah, today's the day. And then you get in the gym. Man, I remember Dylan and I, we would get so angry, punch fucking holes in the wall and shit, you know?
You can't even think, you wouldn't even be able to punch a hole in a wall.
I would never allow a training
that's
session.
Gonna hurt my hand.
I would never allow a training session to do something like that to me now. I can't, you know? But it's like the evolution of all of this. And like what sort of lessons can people learn? One of the things that I will say is like, go make mistakes. Like I don't want to tell people like, don't make the mistake that I did. It's like, no, go hard in one direction, see what happens, and then pull back.
Yeah.
You know, just make sure you have an exit plan.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you need to break a bone. Maybe you need to put yourself in the hospital. Like, who knows? Like, everyone has a different story.
It's so true,
Might
man.
have to go way overboard.
Powerlifting, you'd be like, whoa, what happened? 5 years just slipped away.
Right.
And I've just been deadlifting, bench pressing, and squatting.
I think a guy like yourself, though, I think you've seen it the whole time. I think you've seen, like, there's these dudes that you admire that weightlift, and that's all they do. And you love them. You're like, this guy's awesome. But I think that you, somewhere in your mind, knew that wasn't you.
I've always been creative. YouTube was a means to my creative end. It wasn't a means to my like business end. It wasn't a means to my like, you know, funnel to get people to coach. It was like, I love creating, you know? And my father's the same way. He's a super athletic dude, but he's a writer. He's an artist at heart. And so.
He's like a journalist, right? A columnist?
Yeah, but you know, he's an incredible painter, musician as well. And like.
That's sick.
So, oh man, I feel great. Oh, you're adding weight?
Just add a little resistance.
All right. This is cool though, man.
Yeah, nice setup just from selling a stupid rubber band that goes across your chest, right?
Actually, I kind of want to hit one of those today.
All right.
Yeah, my chest is a little sore, but.
A little slingshot bench thrown in there.
Cheating bench.
Yep.
The inventor of the cheating bench.
You know, that's what I always hated about Olympic lifting is you couldn't cheat. It was hard to cheat. I mean, you can go real wide, like when you catch a clean, but that's like the only cheating that you got.
Yeah.
Powerlifting, it's like you could throw on more gear. You could short range the lift a little bit.
You can take a lot more steroids, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, I mean, weightlifting.
Too authentic.
But weightlifting is built on steroids.
You know, like you get Mexican food that's too authentic. You want it to be a little American mix, you know?
I want some hipster named Conrad to serve me up
tacos.
an El Pastor.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm feeling that now.
Oh yeah.
It's getting in there. Last set. Yeah, it was so much fun going down there to Austin and hanging out with you and Chris, and we were just like walking the streets. I think we did like a 10-minute walk, and
that was my that was the heaviest back squat I've ever done.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yep. Heaviest back squat I've ever done was with you. I hate to say it, but I probably will never lift heavier than what I did with Mark.
Than that day.
He was 230 kilos, so like 5'10" on the back squat.
Yeah.
And then I did 200 kilos for 6.
Shit.
It's crazy. That was big for me.
I think, you said getting weaker. It's true, like it's definitely true. I've definitely have gotten a lot weaker, but it's almost like my brain won't allow me to view it that way because I'm so much better at so many other things.
Yeah.
I know that's like
running being the big one, right?
It's like the loser token or whatever, but like cardiovascular and stuff like that so much better. I can run so much better. I gained so many things in the journey of like losing weight.
You can wake up in the morning so much better. You can fall asleep so much better. Yeah, you have a lot more control.
Yeah, I did love, I always loved that just crazy in tune passion I had for that particular sport. And just even thinking about like how you root your foot into the ground. It's just like the little, the little nuances of how you grab the bar and the different tape that you use on your fingers, and like, I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll always have an appreciation for that.
It is really cool though to also feel like, okay, like, there's a massive hotel and that's the world, and then this little elevator, there's a bunch of Olympic weightlifters in there. And this is all we know. This is all we fucking care about is this little elevator right here. Yeah. And it's pretty cool to go all in with that group of people.
Right.
But I made actually like a declaration probably like 2-ish years ago that I would start talking about just training and life and health and fitness outside of just Olympic weightlifting. Like my channel was just Olympic weightlifting. Maybe touched on some powerlifting, but it was that.
I know. I really like the videos that you did that were from afar, where you might have been Olympic lifting with somebody, but you guys were just talking about whatever bullshit.
Yeah.
Those were awesome.
So I expanded into that, but I was still pursuing Olympic weightlifting really hard. I was still pursuing strength really hard. And now I'm at a point where I'm talking about training, life, everything outside of that, and I'm not doing that. It's like this, the final evolution of it.
People are pissed.
Well, I don't know what to tell them,
People are pissed.
Do you have a weight belt? Yeah.
Yeah, I have the belt that's on the tank. I think probably be perfect
with the chain.
It's like, I don't know. I'm sure you can figure out a way to rig something to this guy. There's probably, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Clip some sort of weight on there somehow.
Yeah. You can do,
or you can just squeeze a med ball between your legs, and that'll crush your soul.
Oh yeah, pull-up bar right there.
Oh, we have. You know what we have is we have these grip bells. A carabine might be able to fit around a grip bell. This is a super light one, but just try that. Will that fit, or is that gonna be way too chubby?
Yeah, way too chubby. But
you could.
It does, you just have to loop it.
Yeah, you could loop it.
That's great. Yeah, this will be great. We can just keep adding these. Hell yeah. Pull-up bar then? That thing right there?
Yep.
Okay, there's hell yeah. So what I've been doing is a single, add on 5 pounds
Oh, nice.
until you can't. And this is like one of these things for me. It's like, as long as I can do 50 pounds or more,
Nice.
I feel like I have the upper body strength for it. And I like the chin up. I think, one, I'm stronger this way, but something about getting in tight like that feels nice.
Yeah, I've always sucked at chin-ups and pull-ups, so this is good for me. And then especially just committing to like 1 rep.
Yeah,
is kind of great.
It's fun. It's fun to like max out on like silly lifts, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it presents a different type of challenge that you're normally used to.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we can do, we'll add 10 pounds to start, see how that works. Wait, this is 10, right? It's got to be close. Oh, 3.8. We'll go 8 pounds.
Probably just loop it through that way, right?
There we go. Look at that.
Clippy poo.
Yeah, so I've
never even done a weighted pull-up, so this is the first time ever.
Really? You never done weighted pull-up?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I've always stunk at pull-ups, so I've never even thought to
Add weight, yeah.
But adding weight actually makes a lot of sense, especially because I can handle like 3 to 5 reps.
The way that I view these two, it's almost like I'm pulling horizontally. And I know, because like I want to think about like, it's here above me and I want to go like, turn like that to it and just see how explosive I can get. And really, it's just a nice test to have, you know.
Nice. It's good you're able to get your chest up there. The CrossFitters would be proud of you.
Yeah. See, that's another one, man. Oh, wait, look at this right behind you.
Oh, there we go.
This is actually a better setup. I kind of like that one better. Yeah, CrossFit's another one where, man, in certain instances, it is fantastic. I've had some of the greatest workouts of my life have been in CrossFit classes.
The physiques that people get from it. Wow.
Of course. And a lot of what CrossFit really stands for is like, why rest when you don't need to? And the idea is like, okay, you're changing the main variable in CrossFit is rest. That's the one that they're operating on.
Right.
And when they start messing with rest and load, that's when you get into trouble, right?
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of being like, because I've done workouts in CrossFit where it's like, run 400 meter, 5 strict pull-ups, 10 push-ups, and do as many rounds as you can of that in 20 minutes. And the idea is like, okay, well, what if you were in a gym, you did a 400 meter run, you did 5 strict pull-ups, and you did 10 push-ups.
Deadly.
And you took as much rest as you wanted in between all of those reps. And every rep was the same, right? Now you do that in a CrossFit workout, and you did double the amount of work.
Right.
Simply because in your brain, you're operating on this like mantra of why rest when I don't have to. And I think that's an important part of CrossFit.
Getting in a lot more work in less time and stuff like that.
But it, like I said, it runs into problems when you start manipulating too many variables.
Yeah, maybe
technique and less rest and whatever. That's why High Rocks is so successful, because it's low technique, low load, and all you're doing is managing rest.
Yeah, you're basically running and doing a bunch of stuff in between running.
Yes, and you're trying to just be like, oh well, you know, the only way this work is getting done is if I do it now. I don't have like an allotted rest period, which people who strength train and
High Rocks is wild. It lasts over. I mean,
it's like
I guess
over an
on
hour.
How fast you are, but you're in it for an hour, no matter how fast you are, basically.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
All right, so we're a little heavier now. There we go. We'll go on this side. Nice.
I think that's like 18 pounds.
Yeah. Oh, I feel good.
Good. You have a PR on this?
I do. It's like 80 pounds.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. Maybe I can get it today. I don't know. But this is my like big checklist upper body movement.
I dig it.
The weighted chin.
I love when people have a thing, you know, like
it is so my thing, man. It's
so many podcasts we do. There's like The guy just comes in, he's got a thing, and he does like the rope.
Yeah.
You know, a guy comes in and he juggles kettlebells. And you're like, okay, this is the thing. You get hyped up about it. It's exciting. But I think everyone's right. I think there's a lot of different modalities you can do.
That was one of the more recent videos I made. Eric Bugenhagen was on...
what a great name.
Yeah. Boogs. He was on...
Bugenhagen?
Bugenhagen.
Wow.
You don't know who Eric Bugenhagen is?
I know who he is, but I just said, what a stud name.
So he was on the Elite FTS podcast, and he was like, man, so many people want to get into the gym. They want to get the best program. They want to get all this stuff. He goes, fuck all that. Pick one exercise and hammer it.
Yeah.
And I have never resonated with something more, period. I had to make a video on it. If you get a guy who learns how to squat, like just get low and stand. Now he holds a kettlebell in the front, because that's like my favorite, the goblet. Get low and stand. Do any version of that exact movement for an hour and leave the gym. Your legs will get stronger. For an unfit person, you will have a better understanding of your legs and your body in space than you did before. And if you came into the gym and you worried about 5, 10 different exercises, stopping what you're doing, moving to the next thing, watching a YouTube video, making sure you do it the correct way, you're not going to get in the best workout, and you're going to quit.
Right.
And that's the key, is we don't want people to quit. So if you came into the gym and you're like, I'm just going to do weighted chin-ups for an hour, I'd be like, hell yeah, that's a great workout. That's a great workout.
It's so much easier to concentrate on that one thing.
Yep. And now when you do that with enough exercises, now you can start playing. Now you can have fun. And now the gym is a pit stop. I call the gym a pit stop for me. You know, it's not my game. It's just the pit stop of my life. And I have to fucking get it every day.
Something along the way. We want to add weight?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Boing.
Let's add some weight. We could use something different if you don't want that smacking on the thing. But we could hook this in the middle too, probably.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that.
What's 10 to 30? Is that too big?
Yeah, no, that's good. We'll do that. Don't want to waste time.
You could connect in the middle here on this one.
Right through center. Okay. Man, I didn't realize how flat it was out here.
Oh, isn't it crazy?
Yeah. If it wasn't for the mountains, I would be like, oh, this is Wisconsin.
There's no hills anywhere, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like true farmland over here, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I think last time you were here, it was like in the evening too, so it was later, right?
Yeah. It's really nice.
That was pretty crazy. You were here with Derek and Thomas DeLauer, right?
Yeah, what a crew.
That was incredible. And it was just, it was great for me watching you guys listen to Thomas DeLauer talk about YouTube. You guys were like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, he does really well. It's insane what people can do with their YouTube channel.
I know. Well, I mean, knowing Chris, it's been ridiculous watching that guy.
Yep.
You got chalk?
We don't have any chalk.
All right, well.
Got to go raw.
Going raw, baby.
I put on my weighted dip belt just like everybody else. One pant leg at a time. You know what's great is that everything I've done so far today is a PR. I've never done this before.
Oh, wow. That was like the fastest one yet.
Oh, no.
Okay, so should we just keep adding these weird little things?
Yeah, do you want to just put a smaller one in there? Add it to the mix?
So that's an additional 38 pounds. And then we can do like my like therapeutic exercises, and then also my gym bro. So I like to combine in these sessions, because I do so many, like 7 days a week. I like to combine things that are going to make me feel good with things that are going to make me look good at the same time. So
I dig it.
So like for me, the big one would be hip extensions. You know, that's like so good for my low back, so good for my hammies. Pair that with like side raises.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be on stage today.
You got to have wide.
Got to have wide belts, bro. And then you could pair like leg lifts or something with bicep curls. Always your treat with your therapy.
Let's get it.
Okay. I got such long arms.
Yep. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Fucking monster.
We're doing it.
But I got long arms. I can't lift. I'm tall. I can't long. How many times do you hear that excuse from people? And you're like, yo.
Yeah, no,
like,
don't even fucking talk to me.
You're
Bro.
like,
don't talk to me.
My wingspan.
Yeah, don't talk to me about weightlifting.
What's your ape index?
7 or 6'7".
6'7"?
6'7", 6'4".
It's wild.
Yeah, long arms. That's why I've always been good at the
best
deadlift.
bench?
316. I added a pound on.
Nice.
So I did 315, and that was my biggest, and then I just added a pound.
And then clean snatch?
Best snatch, 315 pounds, so 143. Best clean was 180 kilos, which is 396. Best clean and jerk was 176, which I don't know what it is. It's like 380 something.
Deadlift?
Deadlift was 660.
Nice.
So 300 kilos.
So see, a lot of people, they think when they're tall, like, first of all, they think they can't be strong. That's definitely not true. And then sometimes people are like, well, a deadlift, I got to lift it. So, but you just heard him say that.
Got long arms though. I mean, that's
like, yeah, it's helpful. Longer arms, maybe.
But I also just trained like a psycho, dude.
Maybe bigger hands, whatever. But you just train with what you got. I mean, you can't be Ed Cohn height, right? Like you're just the height you are.
One of the big motivational things for me was this guy, Jack White from the White Stripes.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, nothing good ever came out of convenience. And that may not be completely true, but his idea was like, if you want to make something good, you got to show people the effort that you put in to make it. And he's like, so I started doing things like I'd be on stage and my picks, if I dropped a pick, I'd put my picks on the amp over here. I wouldn't have it on my mic stand. So I got to play without a pick now. And then I got to go grab a pick over here and I got to come back. And people can see how much I care and they see me sweat and they see me work. And the product that they get is much better because of that. And so I've always been motivated by like, oh, you're so tall. How do you lift that weight? It's like, this is what I love.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a little obstacle.
Yes.
But you also have advantages,
Of course. There's always, Thor, and there are very tall lifters.
Yeah.
But they made a decision to, one, take a lot of steroids.
Yeah.
And 2, gain a lot of weight. And I, when it came down to be time for me to gain a lot of weight, I was 30 years old and I was already 265 pounds. Am I really gonna be 35 years old and 300 pounds and like...
Okay, yeah, for your height, you have to be 300 pounds.
Have to.
If you want to go all in. You want to go all in on
Yes.
I mean, I guess you can make it a small argument as...
And
if you already lifted much heavier weight, then you wouldn't need to gain weight. But for most people, most of the time, they're going to need to weigh around 300 pounds when they're your height.
Yes. And I was never the strong guy in class. I was never, but I did want to see how far I could go. Okay, so I just added in 18 pounds. So we got 48 pounds plus 8 pounds, 56 pounds.
Woo!
All right. 56 pounds. So again, now we're at the limit of like, if I can do over 50 pounds, I'm good.
All right.
That's the goal.
There you go. Come on, Zach. Nice.
Yeah.
Feel really clean too. You're getting your whole body up there.
I try to do like as much range of motion, and then when it starts getting heavier, I chin is the only thing that I want.
Yeah.
Well,
if you did this years ago, it'd be like which chin, like the double chin, the second chin, third chin. I remember when I was benching, I had like 4 or 5 chins going on. It was amazing. Just big old double, triple chin. Oh, here it goes.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm starting to fall short of the range of motion, but
yeah. Is that like a limiting in mobility?
Yeah, some of it's mobility, but it also at this point it's just strength too. I was able to pull myself up a little higher with the lighter.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're getting down to the wire here.
Uh-oh. I gotta take a leak.
Yeah, the bathroom is all outside.
There's a little porta potty.
So yeah, so this I've got this one here in Zack. Man, we should probably be. Yeah, this will be fine. This one in Zack, then Oakland, and then LA.
Okay. Same band that you're looking
Yeah,
for?
yeah.
Nice.
They're so cool, man.
Yeah.
I hope Mark can go.
I think he's gonna go.
Yeah,
He was
they're
talking about it earlier.
it's like fucking a great show.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get so stoked to watch them perform. You know, they're pros. They've been doing it for 20 years. And they're like, it kind of feels like the circus in a way, and they're such good showmen.
Yeah.
You know, it's like less of a rock concert and more of a show. And
What's your music considered to be?
man, people call it country, but I'm not from the South, so I think it's just like has country sensibilities. It's like,
It has a good, strong, like fast beat behind it. So
yeah.
that's what makes it kind of like not country.
Yeah, and I think like people call it Americana. There's some like controversy about people not getting the country music awards. So they created the Americana Awards, thus creating genre, an outside genre. But it's a nice little genre to sneak into if you don't sing like this and sing about beer and shit like that, you know? So, but this new song, I think I just got a notification from some people that I'm on a like hot new country playlist on Apple Music.
Sick.
So I'll take that.
Yeah.
In that case, I'll be like, oh, I'm country all day. You
Yeah,
know,
you
I'll be
can-
whatever the fuck you want me to be. You know what I'm saying?
You can Beyonce it.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Come in from the side, you know?
that's the thing. People want to
Sing
like,
about Texas.
they want to like tell you, you know, like they want to genreify things, and you shouldn't fight against it because you could be missing out on plays.
Just let
and-
them determine where you
Exactly.
are. No, man, I'm rock. It's like, well, what's the point?
Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If they like you, they like you.
Here we
All
go.
right, here we go. So now I've added on 8 pounds to that. 64 pounds. We are getting there, Mark.
Yep.
Okay.
64 pounder. Yes, sir. Oh, made a big comeback on that one.
Yeah. I don't know. There's parts where I'm weak, and then at the end, I
Yeah.
think I'm usually
That was
pretty strong.
sick.
64. Okay. All right, you got this? You're going to try it?
Yep.
It's actually turned out to be a really nice weight belt.
Whoa. This is like a test of your like ass, your glutes.
Yeah, if you don't...
You know, if you don't have any glutes to hanging off of, then you're screwed.
Come on. Come on, Mark. Big go. Go.
I don't think I quite got there, but
Close.
it was a pull.
It's close.
Let me try without to kind of see the contrast.
Empty?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do some sets here. Just empty now. Just kind
Unload.
of just feel.
Unloaded. That felt amazing though. It's good to know that my biceps held up. I haven't really done anything crazy heavy with them in a while.
Yeah. And on these, I love like relaxing and letting my shoulders.
Yeah, that's a big problem for me. Is my arm? It doesn't want to relax. It wants to stay stuck in there. you know?
Yeah, and that's like
I need to get used to
just
it.
enjoy that.
Yeah,
Like it's another challenge. It's kind of fun.
Yep, I agree. But almost like you're pushing the bar away from you a bit, huh?
Yeah.
What a great buildup of your. You know, this is just a different movement than anything else you do in the gym. It just feels like very ligament and tendon-y.
Yes, and that was
I guess body weight exercises in general and plyos.
My process with teaching the squat is to kind of start from that place and start very light. And what people don't realize is like, I always call them like fight squats. So people learn the back squat and they always throw 20 kilos on each side or 45s on each side. And then they do this thing called a fight squat where it's just.
And they make the face right away. Yeah.
They make the face. And I go, what muscles did they use? And they're like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
It just kind of feels shitty. And I was like, okay, that's not the best way to learn the squat. My favorite way to learn the squat is just to learn how to like sit, learn how to relax. Okay, right now my heels kind of like come off the floor, but once I get loose, they go on the floor, you know? And so once I figure out, okay, that's the position I can get into, it's okay, get down there. Oh, my back's a little round. It's okay, just get down there. And just keep doing stuff like that. Just keep going, keep going. Okay, now you grab a kettlebell.
Almost like trying to make it springy a little bit. Like getting yourself to a point.
It's more the idea is like the movement starts from down there. It doesn't start from up here.
I got you.
And the reason people hate that is because like, what about posture? What about this? It's like, you'll be okay. Like we're starting really light, remember.
Yeah, anyone can get up out of a chair. And that's a version of a squat.
Yeah.
Maybe
and
just
so,
go lower.
So you just find that spot. Okay, we're here, we're good, we can stand. Now I've got my implement. Okay, now we put the bar on the back. Okay, it takes a little bit more mobility and ability to keep everything open. And I say, don't even worry. Don't worry about your chest coming down. I just need you to hit that same spot, no matter what. And what's wild is, a lot of times they hit that full depth squat and then they're like, oh, my back was terrible. And then we watch the video back and it wasn't bad.
Right.
It wasn't bad. So now what are they? They're learning this squat in such a full range of motion. Like I did it with my buddy who's super jacked bodybuilder. And I was like, let's do a leg day together. He's like, cool. What do you want to do? I'm like, let's squat. He goes, no. I don't squat, bro. I'm like, you don't squat? He's like a baseball player.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. It just feels so weird. I go, oh, this is perfect. Because this has exactly been my thesis forever. I take him through what I just told you. Within 15 minutes, he's squatting 315 pounds, full ass depth. And he comes up, he's like, bro, I have not squatted that in a decade. I have not felt my legs like that on a squat in a decade. And I go, it's only because the idea is teaching the bottom. Teach the bottom. Sink, relax.
I'm trying to do some version of a perfect squat that's probably not realistic.
Yeah, this. If I go like this and I go, squat perfectly, they're going to fucking hate it. And that's the first thing anyone says. Chest up, hips back, weight on the heels, this. And it's
especially when you're coaching too, because they kind of side eye you and they're
and they're just like, they don't know what to fucking do. My thing is just like, go to the bottom, hang out there, see what happens. And then we just build from there. And then next thing you know, this jack dude is back squatting 315. He's like, I love the back squat now. You know? And this for me has always been my biggest issue with coaches who just go, don't back squat. In fact, the back squat's probably bad for you because your limbs aren't good for it, or this isn't good for it, this isn't good for it.
Takes too long to learn.
Yeah, it takes too much skill, all this shit. And what you're doing is telling these people who haven't done the full assessment, they haven't run the full gamut of tests on the squat, you're telling them to never implement one of the greatest fucking movements out there. The back squat changed my life for better. The front squat, whatever. The squat in general has changed my life completely. My posture, my bone density, just my overall general health. And if somebody came up to me and was like, you can just get on a leg press. In fact, the back squat's bad for you. Look at how long your femurs are. They're not good. My life would be not as good, I don't think.
Right.
You know?
Leg pressing your way through life.
Yeah.
No,
let's do a couple more sets just of like 5 to 10 and then.
It's no way to live. Leg pressing.
But here's the thing, dude. I love the leg press. You know? I love it.
Yeah, leg press is dope. Great movement. Nice. I saw Cam Haynes' son.
Yeah, Truett Haynes.
Doing those crazy amount of pull-ups. I forget how many he did, but he did.
It's essentially an ultra marathon with your upper body. What he's doing, you know.
That's gotta hurt.
I would love to see untrained how many I could get in a day. And just the mental battle it would take me on.
The like rhabdo and shit that you might get, and the hands getting all gnarly.
Yeah, and it's just, I think I could be okay without rhabdo. I think I wouldn't get it because I train enough pull-ups as is. But I think the just mental toll, I cannot believe, like, again, it's
doing anything that long would be hard. It'd be hard.
Walking.
It'd be hard to hit it. Yeah.
Walking.
Yeah. I did.
Fucking walking that long, bro.
Yeah, I did 50 miles one time, 100,000 steps. He and I did it. It melted
without
us.
stopping.
We stopped.
Did you sit down?
We would stop and sit down and all that. And
how hard was it to stand back up?
It was impossible.
Yeah, to be like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, I do 15 to 20,000. I break that up in 3 sessions at minimum.
100,000 steps is the hardest thing I've ever done. Give you an idea how difficult it is.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
I want to try that shit.
With breaks. Like we took probably, I don't know, 10 or 20 breaks during it. It took us like 16 hours, I think.
So 50 miles?
Yeah.
Wait, that's actually, why is this blowing my mind? That is really interesting, man. Here's a good one.
It doesn't sound.
It sounds bad because I know what 20 is.
But it doesn't sound crazy.
But it doesn't sound. It doesn't sound
Dude,
like.
it was debilitating. I mean, we were messed up for 3 or 4 days.
I believe it, bro. I genuinely, I'm not doubting you at all.
It was rough.
And I wouldn't go into this being like, I could fucking do that.
Yeah.
Like I'm not an idiot like that.
My son put me up to it. I was like,
what do you think? It's totally off topic, but I was thinking about, like, what drug or steroid, not that you miss, but you were taken, and maybe you took it for the first time and you were like flying. What and that feeling, what was like the most intense feeling of, and I want to like make sure this is correct, like either like anger, joy, intensity all at once?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes just the amount, sometimes just the amount that you took would make it feel like you could just like snap a barbell in half. Like this extreme empowerment.
Yeah.
Like times 1,000.
And so you could just feel that with just what, testosterone, if you just like add in more dosage, or were there certain compounds that if you took a lot, you'd be like?
Well, obviously there's stuff like Tren, which is really,
super intense,
like hyper anabolic, very, very intense, and anabolic and androgenic. And it just, it can kind of turn you into a monster. I didn't end up with a lot of the sides that some people had where they were like sweating and not sleeping and real angry. I didn't personally notice those. Maybe other people around me did. But yeah, I didn't notice a lot of irritability with it and stuff like that. But just a huge change in your strength. I mean, I think for nearly every drug that you take, I think there's a natural way to elicit these things from your body. So you probably had some days where you're lifting
and you're just like, oh, I'm the fucking man right now.
Yeah, or you're like, fuck you, motherfucker. Like, go and fucking do this. Do this and be awesome with it, and like not only blow your own mind on what you could do, but the guys in the room, like they're like, holy shit, man, what happened on it? You don't even know. Steroids can I think drugs in general can take you to places you otherwise would have trouble getting to.
Yeah, and I think that.
Not that you can't get there at all, but it's harder to get there.
I think also what's really important in the sport of weightlifting is minimums. And what minimums means is more of like, what can you do with your eyes closed?
Right.
What can you do every day, no matter what? And if your minimum is better than most of the fields, not maximum, but like mid-range, you're likely going to be champion. The rest, so like, you have to... this is where competition is crazy. Ilya Ilyin is like one of the best competitors in the sport because every time he competed, it was close. Sometimes he smashed dudes, but like he had some good competitions and he would always pull out. It's not because he did more steroids. It's because there's something up here where he had to fight. However, if there was he's gonna beat the middle of the pack. He might even medal with a bad performance because of the steroids. Or, you know, if take that versus somebody who's natural, if that makes sense. It's like you raise your minimum. That's the main thing. You raise what you can consistently do without trying. And then the rest is just how big of a fucking dog you are.
Well, steroids, I mean, they're going to make you stronger. But on top of making you stronger, they'll allow you to handle more volume. And we know how critical volume is to anything.
Yeah.
You know, if you could sing, you know, 12 hours a day and it was of little consequence to you, it's exactly what you're pointing out. Eliud Kipchoge, the greatest marathon runner of all time, they say that it barely registers that he's even doing an exercise when he's
running. Yeah.
When he's just doing normal training, like running.
Yeah. So like a 5-minute pace for him is like really, really low.
So he runs at like 13 miles an hour. He does like a 4:30 pace. And it would be the equivalent of 100 laps.
Oh, nice to see you, bro.
Look incredible, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I lost a lot of weight. Yeah.
How much weight did you lose?
25 pounds.
Wow.
And not a lot of time either.
I saw your video the other day too, where you're saying like, just sit here, you know, just sit down.
Oh,
just do
wait.
something.
That's so funny. We were just talking about that.
Wait, we got to point something out here. 215, 215, and 215.
Yeah.
Wait, that's actually crazy. that's actually wild.
Isn't that wild?
But yeah, just sit there. Yeah.
Just feel, you know, what it feels like to just sit there and like how hard it is. You know, you don't even realize how hard some of these little simple things are.
Yep. Yeah. That's so funny. I literally was just talking about that.
Well, he
How's it going? Have I met you before? Zack, nice to meet you.
You're playing out here, huh?
Yeah. Wow, isn't that a trip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's the music going? Is it going?
It's going really well. I just had a song come out today. So it's
sick.
been,
I'll have to
yeah,
go
it's
check
been
it out.
promoting. I've been promoting and doing all that with it.
Yeah.
So.
She loves that kind of music. So
hell yeah.
We were like listening to it, like one of the first ones you put out. It's really good.
Thank you.
Like really
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I didn't know you do this.
Yeah.
You're just a YouTube guy.
That's what I was telling. It's like, I do promote it. Don't get me wrong. And I try to, cause I have an audience. So like, why not try to promote it?
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's also like, if you're an artist, like you can't just be like, hey, look, this is art.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like you said in Someone Bigger, Stronger, Faster. Like, hey, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
You'd rather have them discover it and be blown away.
and be blown away. Yeah. It's like an added like it factor, you know? So, and I think it's always like, damn, like you're actually a musician, you know? This isn't just a hobby.
Yeah.
It's really weird because the same thing with like movies. Some people see me and they think I'm a meathead. And they're like, oh, you know how to make movies.
Yeah, no, your documentary's fucking good. Yeah.
They're like, it's actually good. And you're like, what are you
Yeah.
You expect it to suck just because I know about lifting, you know?
Exactly.
That's what people do.
He
We're
did a
just
pull up
doing
with
chin-ups till the sun comes.
He did a chin up with like 70 pounds.
I gotta do this weird split stance because of this pull.
Something popped in my back that feels amazing.
Just to
Sort
get
of
out there.
chiropractic activity.
This?
I got a good pop in my back from one of those sets.
Yeah.
Felt
And
really
like,
good.
it's really good, man. You should get into this just for a couple weeks.
I'll start fucking with it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And I'll be honest, the main reason I started did it pop?
Yeah, well, my shoulder's all messed up.
Yeah. So the reason I started doing chins instead of pull-ups, because I've always done pull-ups, I started doing chins just because I was stronger there. And I wanted to see how much weight I could lift.
Made it a little easier.
So now that's become my thing to do. So that's like, it's not more optimal, I don't think.
Right.
It's just more fun.
Are you still doing like Olympic lifting?
Not really. I do hang power cleans. I really like
You got tired of it? Or what?
It's just hard.
movements
It's too
the whole
hard,
life.
bro. It's too hard. I mean, powerlifting's just 3 movements, you know? And it's just like, it's just hard. Like,
We got sick of powerlifting a long time ago.
oh yeah.
Well, with Olympic lifting's almost plyometric, you know? So
Yeah. Exactly.
it's like jumping every day or sprinting every day. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just going to cost a lot.
yeah.
It'd be very difficult. At least with powerlifting, it's a lot slower of a movement. It doesn't take the same. Your body's not moving nearly as fast.
And it's just the cost for me to maintain a 140 kilo clean and jerk, like right around 315. the cost it is on me compared to some of my buddies. Like I need to train a lot more to maintain that.
Right.
Like where I might be able to even lift more than them. When I lose strength, I lose it a lot faster. Just because my length.
Yeah, you like lose all of it.
Yeah, I got to squat a lot. Like not a lot, more frequently.
What do you think is going on with like just how freaky strong people are getting?
I mean, I think it's just culturally people understand the lifts, or they're just inundated with the lifts a lot more. I think that's really it. Like powerlifting was, more than anyone, was like not a thing.
Yeah, right.
And now it's like a thing, and it's associated with bodybuilding and fitness and that. So I just think culturally, we're just like, we know.
People seeing other people do a lift. They're like, oh, maybe I can do that.
Maybe I can do that. And then
they jump in.
10 years later, they're back squatting 600 pounds. It's like that's happening at a way higher clip than it used to.
Is Olympic lifting improving a lot too?
Yes, but not at that level.
It's hard to move, yeah.
The reward of being a good Olympic lifter, did you know that Gen Z, like the number one most desired job is an influencer? So, and honestly, I have this theory that there is no more potent influencer than a gym influencer. And the reason for that is like, I see in music, some of the most powerful people in music, and they don't have nearly as many followers, engagement as people who are just like pretty high up in the fitness world.
Yeah.
And it's because everyone does fitness. Not everyone does music. So there's that parasocial aspect of it. But
you look at Andrew Huberman as kind of like, he started out being a little bit more sciencey and kind of staying in a particular lane, and he's kind of ventured over a little bit more into fitness. I think for the reason you're pointing out, I think it's worked well for him.
And so to tie it back to like Olympic lifting, it's not as much a part of that. So like power lifters, by doing a ton of volume on the bench press, you get this jacked chest, and it's a movement that everyone does, the bench press and the back squat and the deadlift. The snatch and the clean and jerk doesn't translate to the audience. So like Gen Z, the big people that want to be influencers, they don't necessarily want to do Olympic weightlifting because it's not a part of that sphere. This is just my thesis.
It takes 5 years to be halfway decent at it.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
And no one else does it though. So it's like you become like a weirdo, whereas you could just kind of be really good at what everyone else does. And I truly believe, man, that fitness is like the most powerful source of influence, and not like in always like the good way. I'm not like saying that's necessarily a good thing. It's just crazy. Like I'm talking musicians that will fill arenas will not get anywhere near as much engagement as like a high-end influencer in fitness. And that's crazy to me.
And a lot of times it's like a kid who was skinny a year ago got on some trend.
And now looks amazing. And it's just like that. Yeah.
And
you know what I mean?
Following them and you're like, dude, I've making documentaries about this shit forever. I don't have a following like that because you just have to be in that shape and be willing to like put that out every day.
I think it's just, so I'm just using music as an example, but like when shit goes down for a dude and he wants to make his life better, or a woman even, like the gym is going to be one of the answers. Yeah. Not necessarily a guitar. It can be, but if it is, you run the risk of not being very good.
Yeah.
But if the gym can like start your day off strong, there's so many different benefits you can get from the gym, and it doesn't matter if it's saturated with people. Music, it does. And so I think like it's just the translation to it.
Gym's also something that you can easily be pretty good at, like anybody.
Exactly.
You could be a big fat guy and lose like.
You can lose weight. You can become jacked. Yeah.
And then everybody goes, oh, look at this guy.
Yeah.
He did it, and so it's
exactly.
You come from any angle and be good at the gym.
Dude, it's a crazy thing because I love running the numbers. Do we want to do some of those?
That's what you're doing. Back extension, right?
Yeah, back extension, and then we'll pair it with
some later raises. All right.
More people watching you for the fitness stuff, right?
I do, but not as much as you'd think.
Yeah.
People are protective over music. To get someone to listen to a song is actually a huge fucking ask, because people don't realize how much how intensely they love music. And it's their choice. It's what I put on my Spotify in my AirPods at this time. And like, I'm not just gonna listen to your song, bro. You know? Whereas YouTube, I'll just fire it up and be like, oh, that looks cool. I'll click on that. I'll watch that, you know? It's totally, and it's just the way it interacts. It's so different. And so if I try and be like, hey guys, you like me for this, like try my music on for size.
On a lift?
It works to a certain extent, but not very much.
You're like, what?
Guy's got a new song.
You're like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
My brother came out here the other day, and I had
Okay.
for like I did like an arm day.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, well,
It's gonna smash my nuts.
I'm at you work at, and we'll go get a lift. It was 10 and my
Okay, I'm
cousin.
gonna move this down.
And I was like, yeah, sure, okay, but like I've already gotten the lift in today. He's like, yeah, so did I. We'll get in the second one. So that I go there, they're like benching, like they have me doing like so many pull-ups and just like.
That's great.
It was awful.
Your
It
brother's
hurts my
really
legs.
strong, huh?
He was
Do you have another one of these?
yesterday.
Nice.
Like it was
I don't know
nothing.
if I can.
And then like in between sets, he would like go and like do like
Oh my God, bro.
12.
If I raise it up,
How many sets
then
he
it
did.
smashes my
great.
nuts.
It was incredible. And then it would also just.
Come on, Rogue.
What are you taking?
Some people get
Yeah,
so
nuts or quads.
people get
Oh,
so
that's actually
fit
not
just
bad.
like
Okay, there we
because they
go.
don't really think about stuff sometimes. They don't think about what
No,
other
I
people
moved.
do.
Yeah.
So like he probably barely knows that that's really good.
Yeah, I
you
love
know?
it.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you were fatter than me. Like, and now you like.
Move it to Houston.
Getting shredded.
Yeah. Like.
Going to work for a power.
Oh,
You know,
yep, I
being
knew
able
you
to
were
do
gonna say
12
that,
pull-ups
yeah.
is interesting because like
Yeah, of course.
It's really.
it'd be hard to find. There's people that can do it, but hard to find people that can do 12 clean pull-ups that are fat.
Yeah, and then he was like doing.
You have to be lean.
He wanted to do dips. And, like,
Did you
he
see
was
that
doing his dips where his, like, legs were, like,
GLP-1,
off in the air and just,
they're
like,
stopping
going for it, and
compounding
I was just
of
like,
that.
okay.
They're trying to, right?
Yeah, now you're just showing off.
I was like, I already hit arms
like,
today. I can't
Right.
do it.
You can go. This is a crazy part. You can go buy like Redefining.
Yeah.
The most powerful platform. You can buy it on a peptide site.
And like my
Not even
cousin,
available
he's like,
publicly. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
he's
it's
like
a-
6'3".
2027.
And so I was
Yeah, you
like,
can buy it on
he's
research
discussing
chemical
it
shit. Yeah.
the other
But
day.
but even like
So
now, like
he
hymns
sees, he sees my cousin. He goes,
and
"What's
all
up,
that,
big dog?" But he
they're-
also has, like,
those
a
are
little bit of
compounding,
belly.
right?
Man, you didn't have to.
They're
get
illegal, not illegal. I've heard.
That's
They're
great.
They're trying.
You know, like every peptide's illegal. Like any BPC
Anything?
157, anything besides the GLP-1s that are peptides are pretty much illegal. And insulin's a peptide, practically, but all the peptides you hear people talking about are actually research chemicals only. And so you have to go to the black market to get them. And there's a lot of companies and clinics that are selling this stuff. Like they don't even care. You know, no one cares about the law because they are stupid laws. I think they should use them.
Oh yeah, these are great.
Yeah, it feels pretty good with those, huh?
Yeah, I really like that. Okay, now let's just keep going until we're
All
like,
right.
until we just get tired of it.
Pass out.
This feels so good on my back, man. It's like traveling.
Yep.
Like it's just a massive lifesaver, this movement. And again, you got to pair the therapy with the hypertrophy.
I thought you were talking more like, you know, I thought it was going to be like mental therapy.
Get on like BetterHelp in between sets or whatever.
Yeah, you're like, exactly. Out your childhood in between sets. Some tall guy was on this machine.
Oh, I didn't want to smash my nuts, dude.
Oh yeah, the way that they make these, it always smashes your nuts worse. It's like, why they make it worse instead of making it better?
I'm expecting a full-blown steak shake after this.
Hell yeah. How does it feel to have a different focus? Do you feel less maybe aggravated by some things that are going on in fitness?
Yes.
Because you got something else going on.
Yep.
That's nice.
Mainly when people comment on my body or my performance, lifting and all that stuff.
Right.
I just care a lot less about it, because I'll be alongside rock stars.
Right.
And they're like, dude, you're fucking huge. You're jacked. I'm like, in my world, that ain't the case. But that was crazy, man. When I showed up here, I was pretty big and I was really strong at that time. I think it was the first time I came to do the show.
Yep.
And I was like 250, maybe more. And
Big
I was
boy.
squatting 500 all the time. And I had people calling me small. And I literally did a show with 2 big jack dudes who were like, dude, you're fucking big. And it's just like, if I can't get, if people are going to call me small then, there's no win in this battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people are always going to have comments about your body or about your movement.
Of course.
What you're doing.
Of course. I mean, you've gotten that with running and shit. Nonstop.
Yeah. I enjoy it. It's, I think it can be frustrating, obviously, sometimes, but, you're just, I think for myself, I've been doing some of this stuff for so long. I did it long before I ever filmed anything, and I'd still just be doing it without the camera. The camera only represents like maybe 20% of what I do,
Dude, that is...
Maybe even less.
Oh, we should be doing it on this thing. Oh. This is it right here. Mark.
Yeah, we could do some back extensions there too.
This stuff.
Yeah, that
this
feels...
thing rules.
Yep.
Stretches the shit out of my hammies. But yeah, you're so right about... Actually, I could do it. You're so right about that. Like, cameras are here or not. You bet your ass.
Still going to be lifting.
I'm going in the gym. And actually, one thing I said...
Sometimes it's a little...
In a recent video, I was like, you're either doing 2 things. You're either excited to go to the gym or you're going to the gym.
Right.
There's no other option.
Might as well figure out a way to get excited about it.
Sure. And
for me, I have the luxury of like waiting. I could wake up in the morning and be like, I do not. And I just won't go. But then 3 p.m. will roll around and be like, I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
I feel great.
Yeah.
Not everyone has that luxury to like do it kind of whenever they want, but when you have that, it's kind of nice.
Imagine what we did there. Mm-hmm. And you were like, I want to do this with rope climbs.
Yeah.
I just want to do rope climbs for the next hour.
Right.
That's a pretty cool version of fitness.
Well, Mark and I used to go to the gym a long time ago. We would just squat or just deadlift, and then we'd leave. And
bro!
Like, where's all your accessories? And we're like,
we'll be all right.
Different day.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I was just
then they were like,
that.
you guys are genetic freaks. You just gain without all the other stuff. And we're like, we don't think the other stuff really is that helpful.
No. No. And it's
kind of mindless.
It's about it's like the idea of like gaining intent. So mental acuity is one of the biggest factors for anyone in the gym. This is like some of my greatest advice right here. Mental acuity is almost everything that we have. It's your ability to just focus and go hard. And every time you pick up and choose a new exercise, you are losing some of that mental acuity. So why do it? If you don't have to fucking do it, don't do it. And that's the same thing with leaving your job at 9 o'clock. Every step that you take to get to the gym is going to drain your mental acuity a little bit, And so the more simple, the better. Eric Bugenhagen just made a video. That's what I reacted to. Yeah. And he was like,
make it simple.
Pick one machine. Yeah. Do it all day. I was like, like a pec fly for a pec.
The other day, you're going to pick a different machine. And the
Yeah.
next day, you're going to pick a different machine.
And then now you're like, what? I could do 2 in one day. And now all of a sudden you're doing a great program.
It's also not hard to get in 7, 8, 10 sets when that's your main focus.
Exactly. And that's like what drove me to success in weightlifting for sure. And it's a pity I never really talked about it because I wanted to be, really scientific, but that's really what was happening. People would have called that, oh, that's junk volume. Oh, this, that. But I was learning how to get tougher and focusing on the real shit.
We used to bench forever though too. Like our workout would be like an hour long, just bench. You know.
Well, one of the biggest predictors of success is also, you know, how much you enjoy something. Just like the simplest thing.
Yeah.
And even if the thing I can figure it out.
I just want to move it up. Even for me, it needs to go up one. Maybe two.
You know, like even if the thing you're about to do isn't that enjoyable, but you know you're just doing one of them, it's not that hard to get. Like if we didn't love trap bar deadlifting, but you're like, this is all we're doing.
This is all we're doing today. Yeah.
Or you give me an underhand pitch. You know, you say, hey, we're going to do these, but then we're going to train biceps and shoulders after.
Yeah.
Right?
It's mental acuity. And I actually learned that more when I started training jiu-jitsu guys, particularly because they were the most fatigued people I've ever trained. In any sport, anything ever, they were the most fatigued. So I had to figure out a way to get what I could out of them. So for me, it's the less talking I can do. So that's less instruction and the more training they can do. That means very minimum exercises, best bang for your buck shit. Some days they would squat for like 45 minutes and then we do a couple sets of lunges and then like some hamstring curls and then I'd get them the fuck out the door.
I was never a really good deadlifter. But for some reason, because of the way I'm built, I can do trap bar deadlifts really good. So I had built up to like over 700 pounds with fake hips.
Didn't you do like 715 for 2 or something?
On the trap bar?
Yeah.
That's fucking way more than I ever could, man.
But what's fucking crazy is like I just should do it like I go in under 1 plate, 2 plates, 3 plates, 4 plates, 5 plates, you know, whatever, and then go home. And that would be my workout.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, it would take a while. You know, I'd crank some Metallica, I'd work up on the thing, and
Yeah.
you know, do
And
work up to like one. You know, you do.
so what I started to do with these pull-up sessions, I would just add 5 pounds. So then I, up to 75 pounds, however many that is. How many rounds is that? 20, no. It's like 15 sets, 15 singles, and then I'd take the weight off and I'd do like 3 sets of 10, and then I would leave the gym. I would work out. It doesn't have to be just like maxing out. You get a lot of volume in building up to something. That's fun.
Woo. Yep. Trying to.
Feels good, man.
Five pull-ups is good.
That is good. Pull-ups are a bitch. They're hard. Oh, I put the things there.
That's all.
You want to?
I'm gonna do some curls and then go for a walk.
Sounds good.
I want to walk this fucking farm road right here.
Yeah,
and
it's
this
great.
is too beautiful. It really does remind me of Wisconsin. I don't know if you've ever spent time out there.
Yeah. I've been in Wisconsin.
It looks exactly like Wisconsin. You know who lives out there is what's his name? It's the best powerlifter on the planet. Basically, Ed Cohen, now's version of him. John Hack, yeah. He lives in Wisconsin.
He's a monster.
It's so fun.
Like in our gym, one day he was squatting, and it looks like something.
Yeah.
It looks fake. You're like, how
he would just like Ed was pretty incredible as a natural.
Yeah.
Like he was just one of those guys,
Whew.
Ed Cohen's built really weird, so he can deadlift really big. His squat form is one of the weirdest squat forms ever.
Ed's?
Yeah.
He leaned forward.
Way forward and kind of like just different than everybody else.
He figured.
How most people tell you not to squat.
Yeah.
It's different. His arms are really long, his hands are really big, which is really crazy. Because he's my height.
Totally lit my hammies up.
Just now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got crushed. I ran this morning too, so combination like running, shortening them, and then lengthening them right there.
It's good.
Felt good though. I saw you did a 6-minute mile?
6:03,
A while
bro.
back. It's pretty sick.
I also ended up having COVID. Like I didn't know that I had it, but I had it, and I was really untrained. Like I did not.
That's what I mean. You did it out of nowhere. I mean, I remember
Completely out of nowhere.
I was
But
in Austin.
when
and
I
I
tell
met
you
up
I
with
died.
Zack Bitter, and you're like, all right, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm out of here.
You can ask if you ever meet up with Matt Choi. You can ask him. He's like, no one has ever, I repeat, ever gone that hard
That's great.
in one of my like mile challenges. He didn't even show, like I was writhing in pain, bro. And it wasn't even sub 6, which for someone like me, if I train, like that'd be no problem. I'm built for a mile, that's for damn sure. And I used to be so good at that shit. I definitely ran sub 6 when I was in high school.
Yeah.
You know, but
It's awesome. It's a good sign of some really good fitness to be able to go do that out of nowhere.
out of nowhere, yeah. I wasn't like super strong at that time.
Yeah. Still though, that's no matter how you slice it, 6-minute mile
It's tough, yes.
is fast.
Yeah.
You got to just pick it up a little bit more, and then you're trying to raise the seat, and then click that in there. There you go.
Yeah, it hurts, man. Okay, we'll do the Mike Israetel meme bicep curls,
The incline curl.
like ultra incline.
Dude,
He
I've been
started
trying-
doing them decline even.
I've been trying to sell people on incline curls for like 20 years.
But his now he does it on like
He's way
yeah,
back.
he'll go flat if he can. He'll go
Yeah.
even decline if he can, which is just.
And
But yeah, I like to do these paired
Ben
with
Patrick
preacher
Ben
curls.
Patrick's not big enough, but he was trying to sell people on them too.
Oh, I touched
He's
the
not
floor.
not jacked enough.
We'll do this.
Oh, you might have to scooch yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Do a scoochy scooch.
Now, do you relax or do you roll the shoulders forward? You're trying to go chest up?
I think having your chest like a little open, I think is best.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, yeah, that's tough.
My brother the other day, he made a good comment. You know what he said?
What?
So it doesn't matter. Everyone looks the same.
Everyone looks the same?
Everyone looks similar. Like bodybuilder or not, you know, you get
Like how to do the exercise.
you get
do different.
you get the science from Jeff Nippard on how to hit this thing this particular way. In the end, everyone looks a little similar.
Get on the Renaissance periodization app.
Yeah, try it, Mike.
Looks the same as Dorian Yates in the end. Look,
And
Yeah,
in the end.
And Dorian Yates put a lot of English on his lifts, right?
Remember Ronnie Coleman, he did the same back workout for 20 years straight. Literally the same back workout. He's never changed it. And so everybody says you gotta shock the muscle and you gotta do something. It's like, that's not really true. You know? The best bodybuilder in history never shocks his muscles. He lifted heavy.
You just go heavier here and there.
He never confused them, I guess you should say.
Ronnie Coleman's pretty crazy.
He's also like one of the only people that you're like, when you do it all over again, like seeing all the surgeries you had and how he's like, oh yeah, I'll do it again in a second.
Yeah, he's sad that he didn't do an extra rep on the squat.
He's still mad about it to this day.
Yeah, he's like, I wish I did another rep. He only got hurt, you know, after his career. He was on a leg press, which is really unfortunate. It's not like he got hurt, you know, trying to be the best. He got hurt
He's already the best.
trying to like chase himself, I guess, still. The stretch is really good on an incline.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh man, even just to sit here. Even that feels a little gnarly.
I'm gonna walk around with the biggest chest in town.
Oh yeah?
You'll see. You'll all see.
Walk around with some big old titties.
Big old pecs.
Yeah.
Telling everybody, look at these pecs.
Well, you want everybody to look at them until they do actually look at them.
And then you're like, what are you doing?
They say, "What are you doing? I got eyes right here."
You see that guy on Instagram with those tits? The soccer player?
Yeah, seen him.
It's so crazy.
What does he have?
He has
He like has.
female tits and he wears no shirt and he runs out and says, let me show you how to kick a goal or whatever. Dude. Kick the ball and it's got like 1 million views and it's all because of comments.
Yeah, so the internet clown show has also gotten very, very weird.
It's crazy, isn't it? Now,
Yeah.
you don't know who to believe. You don't know what to believe. You know,
Yeah, it's getting.
not believe anybody.
What I realize is people don't necessarily want to be correct, and they don't even want the correct thing. They want to correct you. So do something wrong, and you'll drive engagement. People can't help themselves.
So many commentary videos of like, we're gonna go through this guy's workout and tell you everything wrong with it.
Well, let's say, I say a word wrong, or I get one reference wrong. That might get 100 comments, people correcting me, which is great.
Yeah.
Great, for the algorithm and all that shit.
Well, it's almost like you want to say shit on purpose.
That's wrong, yeah.
I actually made a video on TikTok. There's a great proof of it. Eat an In-N-Out thing, and I'll go, here, how to eat it In-N-Out with no carbs. And I had onions on my burger, and all the comments were like, there's onions on their asshole, they have carbs. And I'm like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Then I realized, like, oh, if you say something a little bit
Slightly off.
I had 1.7 million views.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
Yep.
Because I fucked up.
That's exactly it.
An onion's actually a weird thing because it does have. It's
Oh,
like
this is
an onion's
cool.
like a fruit.
Wait, what is this?
Oh, it's to change gears.
Yeah, so does this make
sick.
it harder or easier?
Yeah, do all 3 of them. They're just different angles. It's wild, dude. Your arms will just blow up in one set. The angle of it's a little weird, but everything else on it's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. Let me need to get lower.
Get it on the flow.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Science. Oh, so it's harder.
We only lift scientifically. We just need the right angles.
Oh!
It crushes your soul pretty quickly, huh?
Yeah, that's crazy. I'll go even lower. There we go. Kind of like it though. Biceps are getting there. Man, I'm really glad we got to do this.
It's nice.
Totally
isn't it?
random too. I just was like,
You hit me up. I was like, what the?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm like not even usually in town, so
Yeah.
it's great. I mean, lately I've been traveling a bunch. So I saw Chris was on Rogan today. Mm-hmm. Sick.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, so this is an interesting setup. I think this paired with where I have the setting is now is actually the ultimate.
Oh, back and
Because
forth.
it's
Getting
this is the
stressed.
hardest at the bottom.
Right.
This is the hardest at the top.
Yeah.
pair the
It's
two
nice.
of them.
I like it.
You get a little really scientific stuff.
I won't mess with your settings. I'll leave it. Like all workouts are the same when you work out with a bro. It's like workout starts kind of normal, then it always just turns into a pump fest.
Yeah, it's just see how much you can get in before the time's up. I'm good there. I've gone, but it just kind of like sets and reps blend together.
Try this and do the same thing. Adjust that thing in the back. Do like 3 different settings. That's like a set. Doesn't really need to be heavy or anything, but
Just feel it.
Yeah.
Oh wow. What?
yeah, that thing's, well, it's usually easier as you go through, but
Oh, okay. So it's hard here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep, you can feel it getting harder at the top. Whoa, that's kind of nice.
it's pretty sick, right?
Yeah, it's really light off the.
It gets
Something
a lot
like this would be really good for me, actually.
a shit ton of blood into the muscle so quickly. Machines are such a nice option, you know.
They
Sometimes,
fucking are, man. Holy
you know,
shit.
they're just. It's almost like you don't count them as part of your workout. You just kind of do them, right? Because they're simple
And
and
that's the thing. It's the mental acuity thing.
right.
If you really aren't feeling
The buy-in is
Back in the day, everybody would be like, "You're doing machines, you're a pussy."
right to it, but
Knowing that machines are
the thing
good.
is, to a certain extent, you are. If you're, you know, but if you're feeling like a pussy on a certain day, it's a good
I
option.
think they're great. On
You know.
You know, like,
But if you're feeling like the man, get in there
I'll
and
tell you
fucking do
this.
some chin-ups or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
like
every single pro bodybuilder at Gold's Gym in Venice, every single one of them is machine to machine to machine to machine.
Yeah.
That's mainly what they do.
For
They're
sure.
not squatting heavy weights. They're doing heavy.
yeah, that's
leg
always.
presses, hack squats.
Because the idea is like, you know, if you're creating this global fatigue,
Yeah.
it's much harder to recover from. Where if we're just trying to target a certain muscle group.
Yeah.
But I think what some compound movements can do, like, you know, again, it's like the systemic fatigue. I think systemic fatigue could be a good thing, even for hypertrophy. Just like to be a stronger individual can make you more resilient. You can allow for more.
Love the free weights.
But I think even as a bodybuilder, there has to be some level of systemic fatigue. There has to be something where like you're gassed and you're not just completely supported.
They do it well. Like they do it for
A bent row.
individual muscle.
A bent row
Yeah.
with no support. So a bent row with just a barbell.
Yeah.
That's a lot of systemic fatigue. They could be doing chest supported horizontal. They could be doing a lot of things, but they're not. They're holding the bar in their hand.
Yeah.
And if they start pulling on, 315 like that, that's a lot of systemic fatigue. That's something that I think is actually valuable for a bodybuilder, even though they could just pop on a machine.
Yeah.
You know, it's things like that. I'm not saying to fucking squat till you puke or whatever, but
Yeah, it's
I think there's,
It's different.
it's like walking around with a fat kid.
Arnold would do that. Squat, 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 squat.
yeah,
And I think people just realize like, oh, you can do this with a leg press machine.
sure.
It doesn't take as much out of me for next time or whatever.
But and I think though, I still think it's worthwhile to develop the skill of being able to squat heavy, which is a skill in itself.
I think it's amazing.
But I think that bodybuilders should develop it. Chris Bumstead can squat. He knows how to.
It's so strong, it's crazy.
Yeah, he knows how to squat heavy and deep.
Yeah.
And he might do it with like a Smith machine. He might do it with this, whatever, not to a crazy extent, but he knows how to. And I think it actually does develop your physique in this kind of like weird way that's kind of maybe not very
There's
scientific.
like a weird thing about like, I don't know, for us, it's like you train for like 5 years, and then you're gonna have that muscle like forever.
Yeah.
You get like when we started first training, like he's about the same size as he was back, 20 something years ago.
And that's why I was saying, like, the advice
But, like,
that I'm
regular
giving
build.
now to go into the gym 7 days a week, it might not be in line with you if you're going to go hard as fuck like I used to. So I try to say to Mark, like, it's important to go heavy and hard for a while and see how that feels and build that muscle, like you said, that you're going to have for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And then learn how to back away. All right. You want to do a walk?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Dunk it. Angel, you done?
There we go. Putting them away anyway, might as well do a set.
That's right. That's the grease the groove method. Heard of that?
Yeah.
Anytime you walk by a door frame, if your
Yeah.
pull-up bar's there.
Yep.
Steps. Oh, the sun's out too. I'm going skins.
Good to see
So
you.
nice to see you.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Good luck tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Crush it.
So
Have you
nice
been
to-
touring around?
Yeah, we just did some stuff on the East Coast.
Oh, cool.
And then they did one in Denver that I didn't do.
You loving it or what?
It's so great.
Yeah.
It's such a fucking dream come true.
It's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Too fun.
Should I carry
Bye.
this?
Yep.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah, give us something to carry. Give us something to do
Something
on our
to
walk.
care about.
Get the boobs out. It's always got to turn a little gay, right?
Couple of gay boys. Look at us.
Yeah.
Beautiful day, man. Holy shit.
Unbelievable.
You just get to go run in this.
Yeah, it's beautiful out here. Amazing. We walk a lot too as a family. I come out here with my daughter
Yeah, yeah.
and my wife. We call it just like a down and back. We'll go
Yeah.
down to the end of the, I'll show you where the pavement ends.
See ya.
Take our little puppy on a walk. You met her last time, Daisy.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, this is great out here, bro. You're living the life, living the dream.
Thank you.
You got this vineyard over here or whatever it is. What are these? Olives?
Oh, those are those are olives. So how does somebody go all in the way that you did?
In music or life? What music?
Yeah, let's talk about music since that's the transition. More
Well, I
recently.
think this is the thing that I always have said. You got to find a window, and sometimes you don't always look for the window. And my window was my good friend Chris saying, "Hey, that song that you wrote that you just played for me, that was really good. I think you should record that, and more people should hear it." That was my window. And then I record that song. I put that song out, and I get a couple more Chris's. And then you just rinse and repeat until you got 1,000 of them, 10,000, 100,000, And it's exactly what I did with YouTube. I made a YouTube video about something I was deeply passionate about, which was the snatch and the clean and jerk. Had some people go, "Hey, I wouldn't mind seeing more of this." And they just kept doing that. And what you realize is you don't necessarily go all in. You get this feeling of like everything is a gift. Every subscriber,
Right.
every listener, every view is a gift. And you become grateful for everything. And so why wouldn't you want to gain more of that? So you just keep going for it and going for it and going for it. And now, you know, people see me and they're, you're all in on music. I'm like, yeah, but there's no other option. You know, it's so fun. I'm having such a good time. And I think really,
you maybe need a little bit of like a jump off point though, huh? You need a little bit of like your ground that you go to jump off of can't be totally unstable, right? Like it's, you need,
for sure,
you need like a little bit so you can, you know, so you can just be a little safe with it, I guess.
If you give yourself if you say music is do or die, and you don't have a song out, you've never performed in front of anyone, no one knows who you are, well, that's a pretty crazy thing to do.
Yeah, right.
There have been people that have done that in sports and in things before, you know, and they've succeeded. But like to start from that position is crazy, right? So I was in a position where I've always played music since I was born, man. Like it's been born into me, is playing music. But I also had this successful YouTube channel, you know, coaching business and all of this stuff. And the jumping off point was that. I had that built up. And before that, my jump off point to be like, hey, maybe I want to be doing fitness YouTuber full time or whatever. My jump off point from that was, I'm a Gold's Gym personal trainer.
Right.
You know, you got to make a living.
You were also in the field. That's interesting too.
Yeah. So that's really how I went all in, man. It's every day is a blessing. There's this really, one of my favorite lines from this songwriter. His name's John Fulbright. Super simple. It's every day we're breathing is a day we've won.
Right.
And I really resonate with that. That's a song. I actually play that in my set. I'll play it tonight.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you. That's gonna be really cool.
It's wild, bro.
I don't really think I know anybody that's in like a band like that.
Well, it's a trip, bro, because I'm out there alone.
Yeah. One man show.
One man show, yeah. But it's a different vibe, you know.
You can't blame anybody.
Nope.
I guess you can blame like the sound stage guy.
Sometimes you can, yeah.
Yeah. Like that guy sucks.
Fuck me. I've actually had that a couple times.
So we're just on a walk, and I decided why not just bring, this is a 20-pound, you know, I don't know, just make it like a little bit harder than a regular walk. This isn't like brutal or anything.
No, but it's annoying enough.
Yeah.
Where you have to continuously adjust. And
I encourage people, grab a 20-pound dumbbell. Just go for, I don't have a weighted vest, grab a 20-pound dumbbell. Go on
isn't that like what training is all about? Just a little annoying.
Yeah.
That's what running's about, bro. This annoys me a little bit.
Just pick.
Yeah. And you're just kind of like, well, I'm going to deal with this until I get home and I get to have a protein shake. But I am going to deal with it. It's not ideal.
Oh my God, when I first started running, it's all I would think about was food. I'd be like in the middle of a run. I'd be like, man, I got like 6 more miles.
Man, how much
I'm like,
weight?
but after this, I'm going to eat like a...
How crazy was the weight loss when you start to get into running? Isn't it insane?
It can be, yeah. But for me, my freaking hunger went through the roof. And so I out-ate it for a little while. But then, yeah, I ended up losing like 25 pounds. And so that was pretty good. I'm still trying to lose. I want to be like 200 or 205. But it's just been... My brother, you know, he was just saying, oh, Mark's been that size for a long... I weighed similar weight when I was in high school. 225, 230. And right now I'm 215. Obviously, the shape is different.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even back then, though, I was... I was still thinnish looking, you know, or thin looking, but I remember going to the gym and then people being really concerned about me, like doing a certain lift. But I already been lifting for a long time. You know, at 15 or 16 or so, I've already been lifting for 4 or 5 years. And so somebody would see me like, I don't know, benching 275 or something. You need a spot, man? You okay?
Yeah.
Like, let me spot you. I'm like, oh no, I'm good. I was already, you know, building up some pretty good strength.
Yeah, were you always like a strong kid?
I was very strong. Yeah.
I had a buddy who was benching 300, like 14 years old, 13 years old. And like I say that on YouTube, and I get so many comments, people being like, that's just bullshit. Like, to the point where I almost believe it.
Right.
That was 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I swear to God, bro, we just kept adding weight.
Yeah.
He's 100% Armenian. deep ass voice, hairy,
just strong as shit.
Strong as fuck, dude. 300 pounds, and it didn't slow down. I was like, well, what could you lift?
Yeah, right.
You know, at 14, and bro, I was like hardly getting 95 pounds at 14.
Right.
You know,
that was kind of a thing for me, is I lifted with my friends, and they couldn't do. They could barely do the bar with like 10s on each side, you know.
I remember how
yeah
weird it was in high school. These two guys, they're brothers, and their dad was a strength coach, and they were doing dips with the 45s between their legs in high school. And I remember being like, what the fuck is that? Like, I can't even hold myself up. Like, I couldn't do a pull-up, that's for damn sure. Couldn't do a dip. But let alone a dip with, you know?
I remember the gym I used to go to, like, guys were deadlifting 6 plates, 7 plates, benching 4 and 5 plates. I mean, these were older guys, but that was just normal for me to see that, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like, I'm really weak, you know? Like, I'm not like these guys. I need to figure this out. I just love those early days of training. That was a lot of fun.
So fun. You feel like I'd go and do a set of 21s on the curls.
Yep.
And I'd feel my biceps after and be like, they grew today.
Yep. Get a little stronger every time you work out. Get a little bit more jacked.
We did the 10 by 10, the German volume. I remember that changed my life.
What's something that sucks? What sucks? Is there anything that sucks so far about music?
Yeah. You know, it's tough to finish a concert, and this is, again, I hate complaining because it really is fucking awesome.
Well, I asked you what sucks.
Yeah. I know. I just
so you get past to complain a little bit.
You know, people will say I'll finish a show, and people will come up to me being like, "That was incredible! Like, you're really great." You know, that's so fantastic. And I'm just like, tell everyone you know. You know,
right.
Like. If I'm so good, like, why am I not making any money off of this? You know, and that's just part of life, dude. My dad always got that. My dad wrote a book about street basketball in 1970, bro. He was on street basketball like before it was even a thing. He talked about, he has this book called The 100-Yard Lie, and he talks about how corrupt NCAA football was.
Oh, wow.
And the NCAA, and how players weren't getting paid.
Yeah.
He was talking about that in the 90s, bro.
That's great.
And now look where we're at. We have the NIL. We have all this shit. And it's like he never, you know, but at the end of the day, like, he doesn't give a fuck about that.
Right.
He wanted to go see me. He wanted to go to my baseball games. You know what I mean?
Right.
He wanted to come home, and he would go to my sister's swim practices. You know how fucking boring a swimming practice is?
Yeah, swim meets and shit.
He would just watch, but he would bring his paper. And he would actually make a big ass margarita in a cup, and he would sit, read the paper, occasionally look up and watch my sister swim laps. That's what he cared about. That's what I have to look up to, you know?
Right.
So if you're, you know, the long story short, yeah, it sucks to be like, to have people be like, you're so great. And you're just like, okay, well, get more people to understand, you know? There's that aspect of it. But at the end of the day, like, you get to have a kid.
Yeah.
You know, have a family and enjoy them. That's, you know what I mean?
Different
like
level,
yeah. Who cares about being remembered? Frank Zappa there's this amazing video that I highly suggest you check out. And the woman is like, what do you hope Frank Zappa is remembered by? And it's an interview with Frank Zappa, and he goes, I don't. She's like, well, what do you mean? She's like, that's not important. To be remembered, that's not important. The people in the world who want to be remembered usually have ill intention.
Yeah, right.
When you die and you pass away, how people remember you is not as important as like the impact that you have while you're here.
Right.
Because like it is a very selfish endeavor to look at things like that way, which is very tough to wrap your mind around.
Right.
What's the imprint you want to leave on the world? All that stuff. It's like, doesn't matter, motherfucker. You're gone. You know? So it's important that you love what you have right now.
Right.
And
yeah, like 100
man.
years from now, like
we're all nothing.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah.
It takes about 2 generations to forget you ever fucking existed.
Yep.
You don't think people before us were wanted to be remembered in the same way, you know?
Well,
So,
even now, there's like young kids that won't know who someone like a Howard Stern is, you know? And Howard Stern is like, you can't.
how could you not? Yeah.
Right. And just
And
because it's not in their eye line, you know, it's not in their.
Yeah. So like,
they don't know who
200 years from now, Joe Rogan's arguably one of the most famous people on earth.
Yep.
200 years from now, do you think people are going to be saying his name? Maybe. Probably not though. 200 years, bro.
Yep.
You know how much shit's going to happen? So it's like to fight for something like that. And I think that's what Frank Zappa was kind of getting at.
His point. Yeah.
Yeah. And like a lot of when you pursue music, that's what labels want. They want a guy like, how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
And you're like,
I want to be a legend.
yeah, I want to be a legend. I want to be someone that people talk about. And you're like, that's a fruitless way to live. Because if you were living like that, Mark, right now, do you know how much of this life you would miss out on?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And I'm sure you've had opportunities like that.
Mm-hmm. One of my friends, he's way into like circadian rhythm and biology and like how we interact with the sun and all these different things. I was on the phone with him one day and he was talking to me about how he feels that like everything's a frequency. And when he said that to me, I didn't really understand what he was saying, but then now I'm catching it more and more that like literally everything's a frequency. Even language is like a frequency. Music is a frequency.
Oh, baby.
You know what I mean? Like all these things are frequencies and vibrations that literally like move you in a direction.
Music is like...
It's like nuts when you start to really think about it.
Music is a wild one, man. There's also like the literal, what is it, bioelectricity from your heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
It creates like, your bioelectricity like emits like from like a meter or something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's identical to like the hertz of the earth or whatever the fuck too. And
this is why
all that stuff's just wild. You're like, what?
Yeah, it's super wild.
Like, really?
Yeah, the vibrations and frequency stuff, you can really get into the woo-woo shit there, but playing music is definitely you feel like you have a power. I feel like I have a power that I shouldn't have. You know what I mean? I feel like
it's like a controller.
Yeah.
Right? It's like doing, you hit the string and then the guy like dances or a person dances.
Yeah.
It's like,
it is really wild.
Like making these noises. So we just go to this little patch right here where they just gave up on making it a paved road anymore.
What the hell? Oh man, I'm looking forward to a shake and some hydration.
Oh yeah. Got to end it with a steak shake.
Dude, this I'm not kidding you, bro.
A lot of times there's cows out here too, and they're just like chilling.
This is basic. You have a ranch.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have any animals.
No, well, we have chickens.
Oh, okay.
And we got Daisy. Don't forget about her.
Right.
She'll be pissed. She's gonna attack you when you get in there.
Are there coyotes out here?
There's a fuck ton of coyotes.
Yeah. So
there's all kinds of shit. There's mice. Shit. Those fuckers apart.
Tear them in half.
You know what they have out here? They have a lot of these sheep dogs because they have sheep and goats.
Yeah.
That will come in and chew on all the fields and shit. There we go. Sounds like fuck it, man. Can't cave any further. You said something. What did you say in the gym there? You said something. You said. Anyway, I was thinking. This just like occurred to me the other day, out of nowhere. I was just like going to my car, and I was like, you know what? It takes kind of a lot every day just to even get yourself out the door. It's just something you don't really think about. Because there's these things that you do every morning that. You just do them. You brush your teeth, maybe. You get stuff organized. Like I was going to a podcast, I think, and I just like forgot something, and I was like, oh, I need to go back inside and grab it. I was just thinking, you know what? Like, some people that get behind and some people that have anxiety and some people that don't feel great about life, it's kind of
Tie my shoes real quick.
it's kind of obvious on why those things happen, because it does take a ton of resources every day just to even do the most minimal thing.
Oh yeah.
And when I hear people sometimes, or even when I used to hear people say stuff like, hey, you had a great job showing up today, I would be like, well, that's kind of weak sauce, you know? Like,
Yeah.
what is that about? But now I get it. I have a better,
Well,
I got a better understanding of it, you know?
There's this quote. It's like, even to exist is an act of bravery.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think there's a push and a pull with everything. And this is kind of maybe one of the reasons why my channel hasn't like blown up in a certain way, is because I just never take a side.
Right.
I can't go all in on something. I have to see.
I feel I've been similar.
Yeah.
People try to label me certain
I
ways.
just have to see the middle ground. I can't just Greg Doucette it, which, by the way, I love the guy. But like, yeah, if someone says, hey, you showed up, good job. Like, you kind of go, hey, fuck that.
Yeah, right.
I want to go hard. I want to do it. But you have to have days of both.
Right.
I don't want to just show up, you know?
Yeah, right.
But showing up is way better than not, man.
Yep.
Way better.
I
It's
think
so much more
Yeah.
important to show up than not show up, compared to going hard and, like, you know what I mean?
Well, going hard can lead you to not showing up. That's
Exactly.
Really, that's one of the big issues.
Yes.
And I think that's where you and I have fell into more recently, is like, I feel like I put up like 6s and 7s and maybe some 8s here and there every day on a scale of 1 to 10. But there's not a lot of redlining.
No.
You know, when I was powerlifting, yeah, there was definitely, I learned though. I did learn while I was powerlifting. Very fortunate that I learned, like, stay in that 8 and 9s and don't even, if a 10 pops up, hopefully it's on meet day.
I think that's why jiu-jitsu was tough for me, because I was just 10 every day. I was doing a 10.
That would be
every
hard
day.
because you're dealing with another person too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, F this guy, you know, I just want to,
Yeah, want to kill him.
this guy's not better than me, but he is.
Yes.
I mean, you keep resisting it.
And that's why, and obviously, that's not at its core what jiu-jitsu is about. It's not. But as like a business model, it kind of ends up shaking out that way.
Yeah.
You know, it became really hard for me to psych myself up to get into the gym to go to jiu-jitsu.
Nsima's coach, we had him on the podcast, and he just says the same thing every time. Just don't fight back.
Don't fight back.
Don't fight back. Don't fight back. Don't fight back.
Honest to God, that's like the smartest advice ever. And that's why, like, I never got to roll with Nsima, but I would love to, because I know he's just always been a good guy.
Yeah.
He's always been.
Oh, I've seen him roll with people.
Since he was a white belt, he's been smooth.
Seen him roll with people, and he just puts them in nice positions to let them get the work in that they need.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's so cute looking.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my friends is very, very strong, and every bit of like 220 pounds, and Nsima's just like, oh, just going to put you over here like this. Oh, you want to try? Okay, that's nice that you're trying that, but no. He's just like, holy crap.
Man, this is...
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
The air. This is like a really good part of California, man.
Nice.
I think people get it twisted, bro. They're
sleeping hunt.
But am I right to say that, like, Sacramento doesn't want to grow? Because they could have, if they wanted to, they could have by now. It's only 500,000.
Yeah, I think Sacramento could definitely be bigger. I think.
But they don't want to. I think it's like just a government town with agriculture.
I think you're right.
And I don't think they want like young tech and new shit here, because they would have already.
I agree. I think so.
The capital town. Dude, I looked it up. 500,000. That's tiny.
Yeah. It is
for a state that's this big. It's nothing.
They'll pop up some new stuff here and there, but yeah, it's not really big efforts to make things beautiful. There is, like, in downtown Sac, there's like the dojo, which is kind of nice, or however you say it.
That's where Doco.
There you go.
I'm literally, that's where I'm staying.
And that's a pretty nice area. There's nice restaurants there. it's set up well. The arena's there for the
Yeah.
Kings.
Yep. But even still, that's not necessarily grabbing for 30-year-olds to come and change the town. Whereas Austin,
Yep. Very inviting.
Austin's, I think it hit over 1 million. When I think about it, to think that Austin is bigger, substantially bigger than Sacramento is just still weird in my mind.
Double the size.
Yeah. And you wouldn't think that, but I think it's really cool. I mean, it's beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
This is like,
The taxes here are pretty nuts.
yeah,
14%. It's like,
that's crazy. And then you have your house tax, property tax. So you're paying a tax on the fucking gym.
yeah, when you start a business and stuff, you're all pumped because you like start making all this money, but then you kind of realize like
I got to pay it back.
you're like, oh shit,
Yeah,
there's
this ain't your money.
a lot of things going on here.
That's, yeah.
I feel kind of bad for people that do really well in business, kind of almost out of nowhere. I feel for them because you just get hit so hard with being in another tax bracket out of nowhere.
Yep.
And I think there should be a little bit of padding there. There should be a little bit of like a grace period of some sort. Because you're trying to pay off previous like bullshit, trying to pay off previous like debts almost. When you first start making some money, you're just getting your head above water.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be hammered over the head one more time with another tax. Yeah, this is amazing out here, and I go in my hot tub at night and just look up at the stars, and a lot of times there's not a cloud in the sky and just tons of stars and the moon up there, and
crazy.
it's just nice.
Yeah, this is legit farmland. I didn't think it was, but it's like absolutely farming out here, which is sick. It's not far away. It's 20 minutes.
You do get like a lot of weird stuff happening though. Like what I was telling you, there's coyotes and stuff, but like we've had like goats and stuff like in our backyard and
Really?
just hang out back there for like 2-3 days. And they keep wanting to like come inside the house and stuff. It's weird because I think they're like hurt or something happened to them. And we found out it was like one of the guys back here has a bunch and some of his escaped. Yeah, weird shit like that happens. Crazy birds and owls. You go on a walk at night and you're like, what the hell was that? You'll just see like a giant bird.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna. None of the things out here are gonna do anything to you, but you're kind of like, what the hell's going on out here? It can be a little weird.
It's so flat. Is this like glacial or something?
So
or
quiet.
volcanic? Like why?
No. And
then it just hits this mountain range.
Yeah, one negative of Sacramento is it does get very hot, but Austin, Texas gets disgustingly hot. How long does it get hot down there for? About 4 months,
dude.
4 months.
When it's hot, it might be worse than when it's cold in cold places.
Yeah.
And I'm actually willing to say that it is, because the sun will go down and it's unbearable outside. And then it's midnight and it's unbearable outside. Right? So you might, if you're up at 4 a.m, you might have 2 hours of like, wow, this is good weather. Right at 7 a.m, it's unbearable. And
you spend the rest of the day sweating and trying to manage it.
It's unacceptable, bro. I'm telling you, it's so bad. It's so much worse than people think. Like, it feels like a desert. Like, it feels like, you wouldn't want to live in Dubai in the wrong time.
My brother's moving to Houston, and he's kind of worried about that. He's like, it's going to get so hot there.
Oh, it's so bad.
I think it's even a little hotter there than it is in Austin. So this was super annoying, huh?
So annoying.
Carrying this stupid thing.
I'm going to go with just grip this time. See how long you can do one hand.
Oh,
grip.
yeah.
Yeah, it's already bad.
Those pull-ups felt great.
Yeah, you got to implement them, bro.
I'm on it. It's funny because I've been trying to work on pull-ups forever, and I'll work on them for a little while, and then I'll stop, and I keep going back and forth. But now, doing kind of one rep, I got something different to work on.
It takes your mind out of it, man.
Yeah. Well, because it was so finicky with my body weight, you know, I can have 8-pound shifts in body weight from like one day to the next.
Yeah.
Or even 1 week to the next or whatever. And that massively impacts. But I have a bunch of weighted vests and stuff, so I'll probably even just do some of the pull-ups like that. Car. What the hell? There's a car coming?
Yeah, people aren't supposed to be here. What the fuck?
So I can do it a bunch of ways or hang the weight like we did today. All those sound like good options.
So good for your shoulders too. Something I didn't even really realize.
I need that. My body, you know, like when you're a kid and you put together like a little clay or Play-Doh like figure and you stick the arms on and you stick the legs on. Well, you got to stick them in there pretty good, right? That's my arms. My arms are like stuck in there too hard. They don't have an ability to like relax and be like out more, you know, jammed in. You have any other family in Texas?
No.
Where's everybody live at?
They all live in Chicago area, so burbs of Chicago. And actually, my sister lives out in Boise.
Mm-hmm.
One of them does.
You have a couple siblings?
3 older sisters. The youngest boy.
I'm the baby of the family too.
Yeah.
Big babies. Time for a protein shake.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
You can try the Primal Fudge Keto Brick too.
What I want is, you got a frozen banana?
We definitely have a banana and we can throw ice in there.
Yeah, banana, ice, milk, steak shake.
All right.
That's what I want. I'm craving it.
It's rare. It's rare for us to have milk in my house, but we'll see.
Well, whatever. What?
Oh, we have like a Fairlife thing. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You got to get a raw milk dealer, bro.
Oh, I love raw milk. Yeah. I just don't drink it that often.
Oh, I also throw eggs in my shake. You ever do that?
Oh yeah. That's a little Rocky Balboa.
That's the shit. That's the 90s shit that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know those old blenders too?
Oh yeah.
They would never break.
Yep.
Thick ass glass. You know those old blenders.
And they have a bunch of different gears.
Yeah, my dad used to fucking fuck us up with some shakes, bro. Yeah.
Those things have hardly any different speeds. It just goes nuts the whole time. It just like eviscerates whatever you put in there.
I miss the 90s, man. And I wasn't even really that old enough. Right. And I just wish like
yeah, you're what, 33 or something?
I loved that people didn't know things.
Yeah.
You know? That's why I love guys like Eric Bugenhagen, because they're just like, shut the fuck up. Stop trying to know things.
Yeah.
Start doing things.
Kind of great to have a racial slur that you don't even know is a racial slur.
What?
I'm just kidding. Like, that's like or saying, you know, gay or any of these
right.
things. You know,
yeah.
All these different words that we would say that are derogatory or whatever.
Yeah.
You never thought about them, you know?
Nope.
In there. Double bicep.
So you get the thumb in there? I don't really know much.
Yeah, tuck it in there, I guess.
Maybe there we go. Look at that. And if
I don't really know how to pose either. Nsima's.
I mean, he trained in that shit.
He was teaching me how to pose, and then he was kind of like, I don't think you're ever gonna get it.
Okay. Let's get some ice in there. Let's start with the ice, right?
Yep.
Gotta start with the ice. I'm on a big ice guy.
All right.
I'm just gonna take over your entire kitchen.
He's taking over Smelly's kitchen.
I'm taking it over. It's mine now. Welcome to.
He is kind of tall and he does know jujitsu, so.
Well, watch out.
I should probably stay out of the way. Here's the banana you requested, sir.
Thank God
I'll be your sous chef.
Thank God you don't know any like 10% body fat jujitsu black belts who are black that could come over here. Oh wait. Ooh, cinnamon.
I don't know. I put it there just as maybe a surprise.
Okay. We're gonna go banana next.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, chef. I don't want to forget my lines. banana guy.
Maybe don't put the black joke in there. Okay. Now we need some sort of liquid here.
Okay, so I have some suggestions for you, sir. We have some core power, which is probably going to be an excellent choice. We have vanilla or chocolate you can use as like a base. I don't think we have any sort of regular milk, but those will kind of act as regular milk-ish.
Okay.
Oh, there's a chocolate milk in the back.
Now this is what I'm talking about. We expired?
Nah.
Okay. And I'm gonna do, yeah, this is gonna be crazy what I'm about to pull off here.
Over here we have our total carnivore.
So we're getting the
assortment.
We're getting the protein also from the Fairlife. Dabble, do ya? You know what I mean?
He likes it thick. Huh? Likes it thick.
This is gonna be crazy. Telling you.
You think anything like this has been done before?
Nope. Never been done before. Now, are these?
Those are eggs. Yeah, those are from our chickens.
I'm gonna do 2 eggs. So now we got 2 protein sources. We got all those good fats from the yolk, straight off of Smelly's ranch.
No egg whites for this guy. This guy's a machine, an animal.
Oh, the yolk is the best part, bro. Come on. Okay. Okay. Now, because we already got the chocolate taken care of, we want steak shake vanilla.
This is getting to be risky, in my opinion,
Why?
just because we're going chocolate and vanilla.
That's the
Like,
thing.
it's
You don't
usually-
want to make. I don't want to make it too much chocolate.
So you
need
want just
balance.
you want like a back note of chocolate.
Yeah, I
Rather
want
than
to
like a face full of chocolate.
exactly. You're learning. You're learning well, my sous chef. Now I'm gonna go a scoop and a little more.
Oh,
Yeah, just that. There we go. Just
Rare?
that
That's
again.
rare.
You know, a little bit of right there. And do you have any yogurt?
we do have yogurt.
So now we're talking, right? Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4th. Is this vanilla though, flavored?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm looking for unflavored.
we might have an unflavored.
See, this is where if we had unflavored yogurt, we would have now 4 sources of protein from different things. This is the thing. This shake is a once in a lifetime. What, a scoop of cottage cheese? Mm-hmm. Let's do it. It's already sweet enough, right?
Just adds dairy and like.
That's the
salt.
one thing, man. You got to get your dairy in. That's what they say. Don't you love how like diets like are kind of cyclical?
I'll get this cleaned up for you right away, sir.
Yes.
Please don't get upset.
Get out of my sight line.
I will not look you in the eye again, sir.
There we go. That's probably good right there. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. That's usually people's tablespoon of peanut butter.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like it needs a little bit more liquid.
All right.
So I'm gonna get in.
What do we need? Some
Probably
water?
put some water in there. Probably get a little bit. Yes. Thank you. Right away. Okay, so now what do we got for protein? We got the Fairlife, eggs, the cottage cheese, and the steak shake. 4 different sources of protein. If you can't get jacked off this,
Then there's no hope.
go home, dude.
Might be no hope.
Okay, that's probably good.
All right. Yeah, you need just enough water to stir. Now, do we want any more flavor?
No.
You can
No,
just
this
put the
is gonna
spoon
be-
down.
This
Anywhere
is
is fine.
And put the spoon down, sir, anywhere. Right away,
So
sir.
we have chocolate hydration, and we also have this is salted caramel. Either one of those might be good in there. You're
I'm
gonna
going no
straight in.
hydration. This is
You have to get the extra leverage with the hand on top, even though the blender
that
does not
doesn't do
require that.
anything. Well,
Oh, this is going to be spectacular.
okay. Would you like?
Hopefully it doesn't explode.
Would you like a cup? Honestly, it might have made like the greatest shake ever. I think right just now.
Let's see. We'll see what happens. I'll partake.
Oh yeah.
Many different forms of protein.
Yeah, this is called the Many Shake.
Some carbs.
Trademark.
You know, chocolate milk has been proven to be a good post-workout choice too, by the way.
Why? 'Cause carbs?
Yeah, because of carbs. And then plus Sam Sulek drinks it and he's jacked, so
There you go. That's all you need.
he looks amazing.
Okay. Now, like any good book or cookbook, they would say to consume multiples of these per day. You know? All right, cheers.
Here he goes.
Trying it out.
Oh, that's spectacular.
It's really good.
It almost tastes a little peanut buttery, even though there was no peanut butter in there.
That's really good.
That banana. The chocolate and vanilla.
I think the cottage cheese was a great play. Add a little savory to it.
Yeah, I think it gives it a little bit of salt. Gives it a slow digesting protein. This, I don't think this has been done before. You got whey protein.
It's called the Many Shake.
You got the Many Shakes. Never been done before. There's many like it, but this one is ours.
Yeah.
We got whey protein.
The Fairlife.
So,
chocolate
but even
Fairlife,
just
eggs, whey protein, or the steak shake protein, and finally the cottage cheese.
And there's collagen in it too from the steak shake protein.
Yep. 5 sources of protein.
You don't even know how many sources of protein are in here. If we can't keep track of it, the people at home can't keep track of it. That is very impressive. I mean, I thought he was going to do well, but I was not expecting that.
Eggs, dude. That is also a clutch move. Eggs, something like this. I got to up my cottage cheese game.
Cottage cheese is amazing. It's so good.
You do it with hot sauce, salt, pepper.
I use
Just straight
cottage
up?
cheese for everything. Yeah, we make all kinds of stuff.
I'm done. Easy. Too easy, bro.
How does someone like you gain weight? I know you're thinner now. You're 215, but you were all the way up to like what, 250, 260?
260, yeah. I really minimized like caloric output outside of the gym. Nothing. Nothing outside of the gym. The only time I would burn a calorie was in the gym to squat.
You would be the guy in the parking lot waiting for the spot to open up. You wouldn't, instead of parking across the street.
Nope. I'm not taking no extra steps, not burning any.
Not helping anybody move, not moving a couch, nothing. I'm going to the gym and then I'm coming back home and I'm going to lay down.
Yeah, that was like probably the least in shape I've ever been in my life. You know?
When all you cared about was lifting.
Yeah, like, isn't that funny how that works?
Get more out of shape than someone who doesn't lift at all. Someone who
Yeah.
doesn't even think about fitness. Same. The garbage
Like-
is right there.
For me, it was like, if I walked too long, my back would blow up, or,
The same thing, yeah.
and like, that's embarrassing.
That's pretty fat.
That's fucking embarrassing. Just being like, fuck, I gotta sit down. What? What are you talking about?
I think I might have had some of this set up last time you were here, but I can't remember. But you'll dig this.
Oh, look at all these goodies, dude. Jesus. Actually, this looks kind of nice.
Oh, yeah. You can take that.
Chicken sticks?
You're on the road, man. You need to load up. You ever have legendary stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Pop-Tarts and
I actually like the David bars.
David bars are dope. You can grab one if there's one in there.
Nah, but I'm gonna take one of these. This is what I want. Like the salty shit.
You gotta have your protein,
Do that.
right? Oh, I gotta have you try the keto brick.
This is a new product?
Yeah, this is guy named Robert Sykes makes Keto Brick. Then this one's a collab with him where he used the steak shake in there.
Ooh.
So you have to try.
So you doing hardcore, or you did hardcore keto?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like doing the ketogenic diet. It feels really good to me. It's just something that, believe it or not, is easy for me to follow. You know, I know some people are like they love carbs, and I like carbs too, but it's easy for me to follow. It's easier for me to follow on the holidays. It's easier for me to follow when I'm traveling. Just
Do you find it's also probably easier to fast longer?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's easier to go in and out of fasting.
Yeah, for sure.
The energy levels aren't as up and down, but right now I'm playing around with eating some carbs, but just kind of, I like to experiment with stuff, try some different stuff out. My wife considers this the most dangerous move ever, but there's really no good way to slice up these keto bricks, so I always just do this. She's like, "You're going to slice your finger off." She might be right.
It's literally just a brick of chocolate.
Yep. It's fat and protein. 1,000 calories in the whole thing.
Holy shit.
People are always like, "Oh my God." But what I always tell people is like, "Hey man, you don't have to eat the whole thing." But then they're like, "That's ridiculous. I have to eat the whole thing." I'm like, "Oh, that's a good point." So now we got her chopped up. There we go. That's total carnivore chocolate. And then, so the only thing in here is the total carnivore chocolate and tallow.
And beef tallow, and that's it.
It's all smashed together and turned into a brick. It's going to knock your mustache right off. Or backwards around the back of your head.
Oh, wow. That's really good. It's like salty.
Yeah. Has quite a bit of salt. I think like our product in general is fairly salty, because when I was testing these out, I was like, maybe we should back off the salt a little bit. He's like, that's just all from your product. I was like, I didn't even realize my product had that much salt in it.
In the shake?
Yeah. Secret ingredient.
Maybe like the fat brings it out.
Yeah.
Or the oils.
Yeah, makes it pop more. They're addicting. Later on today, you're going to think about this and you'll be like, oh man, I'd love to have that Primal Fudge Keto Brick. All right, it was an amazing time working out with my pal over here, Zack. And I get to see him rock and roll or country or whatever the hell.
Whatever, yeah.
I get to see him in his band, but it's a band of one.
It's just me. I'm opening for a group of other guys. Yeah.
Couldn't find anybody else to play with.
No, that's
the story of my life.
It's expensive.
Oh.
You got to pay for the other people to come play. Yeah. And I need to be easy for this other band. You know what I mean?
And you just put out a song today.
Yes, today.
On Spotify.
Spotify, Apple Music, Prime, whatever you listen to.
What's the name of the band and what song?
Just my last name, Telander, Telander. And then the song is called Sorry I Ain't Rich Yet.
I dig it. Yeah. We had a great time working out. Got some good stuff in. Did some heavy weighted pull-ups, which I've never really done. I've never done a weighted pull-up before. And then we pushed the tank for a little bit before that. Got warmed up. And then we did some bodybuilding.
Bodybuilding, got to get jacked.
We did a little bit of bodybuilding stuff. You got to always get a pump when you're having that bro workout. And then the last thing we finished with was a walk.
That's right. And then the best shake that anyone's ever seen in YouTube or internet history, period. Done. The best.
Strength is never weakness.
Weakness is never strength.
Catch you guys later.